Hello, Ian Vargo here with the Pro Audiophiles. Today is the first in a 5-part video series on compression. We recently released an article on the 5 things to listen for when using a compressor. And first up is one of the most common uses for compressors, which is the control of dynamics and taming peaks. So firstly, let's take a look and listen to this vocal performance. We've got a good amount of dynamic range, a relatively quiet level in the verse, gets a little bit louder as we enter the chorus, and then at the end of the chorus, we have climax in amplitude, so to speak. Let's take a listen.
Hey baby, where did you go?
Let's move forward to the chorus.
What am I to do? What am I to do? I wanna wrap my own coat of love around you, girl.
So the goal here is to bring the level of the verses a little bit closer to the level in the choruses. And to also, there are a couple lines that really poke out in my mind, particularly "rap my." Just seems a little bit like it's sticking out more than the rest of the lines. So what we're going to do is apply the classic 1176 into an LA-2A technique. Let's activate the 1176. I've got a pretty fast attack and fast release time, and I'm going to set my input and output to a point where the loudest parts of the vocal performance are brought down, but the quietest parts are not affected. Let's take a listen to the verse.
Hey baby, where did you go?
Let's move forward to the chorus.
What am I to do? What am I to do? I wanna wrap my own coat of love around you, girl.
Okay, so as you can hear, when the vocal gets really loud and expressive, we have compression being applied. What you're hearing now is only a piece of the final puzzle. It does sound a little bit quiet. We are going to use the LA-2A, the gain feature here, to bring up the overall level, and use the peak reduction. I'm going to set it to a point where we have about between 1 and up to 3 dB at any given moment. Let's take a listen with the two together.
Hey baby, where did you go?
And let's move forward.
What am I to do? What am I to do? I wanna wrap my own coat of love around you, girl.
All right, so what we're hearing is definitely a smoother, more even vocal performance. Sometimes when you have a lot of compression applied, sibilant sounds like this right here, I believe it's a D. Let's take a listen.
What am I to do? What am I to do?
Let's show you what I did. I automated volume and clip gain because sometimes when you apply a lot of compression to a source, sibilant sounds become extra harsh.
What am I to do? What am I to do?
Yeah, that really pops out. So what I'm doing, zooming in a little bit, using clip gain to bring it down about 5 dB, and then volume automating down a couple dB as well. It sounds smoother.
What am I to do? What am I to do? I wanna wrap my own coat of love around you, girl.
All right, so as you can hear, this is definitely a tried and true technique for a reason. We have the 1176 taming the highest of peaks, and the LA-2A giving some general compression and overall smoothness to the signal the entire time. Next, I'm going to show you how to use compression to even out the dynamics of a keyboard part. Let's take a listen to this with no compression whatsoever. Okay, it sounds nice, but there are a couple notes, couple phrases that seem to poke out a little bit to me. They stick out of the mix and sound less pleasant in comparison to everything else. In particular, right here and right here just seem to pop out a little bit. So I'm going to use compression to tame those transients. Let's take a listen. We've got the TubeTech CL1-B, which is a collaboration between Softtube and Universal Audio, is one of my go-to compressors because it's versatile and it works quickly. Let's take a listen. So if we pay attention to the settings, I've got a relatively fast attack. I want some of the transient to be allowed through the compressor, but I want to catch it pretty quickly. Let's take a listen to what it would sound like if I had a slow attack. And if I had an all the way fast attack, starts to sound a little bit pumpy and unnatural, so I dialed in a setting I was happy with. I'm using a relatively slow release for the purpose of, if you look at the waveform, the sustain and the decay happen a little bit too quickly, so I wanted to even it out and make the note seem like it sustained a little bit more, so I used a pretty slow release to help emulate that effect. I've got about a 5-to-1 ratio, and the threshold and gain are both set to the default settings, whatever they were when I loaded up the plugin, which is one of the reasons why I like this so much, because it just works really quickly. All right, this has been Ian Vargo with the Pro Audiophiles, with the first in a 5-part video series on compression. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to get in touch, and also check out Coat of Love by Sunny Love and the Moon Parade on Apple Music, Spotify, and all those other streaming services. Thanks.